approaching the final weekend before the US presidential elections, and candidates, they are now shifting their focus to those swing states in the Midwest. It just happens to be that in those swing states, coronavirus outbreaks, new ones, are beginning as we speak. And on the itinerary for President Donald Trump this weekend, we've got Michigan, Wisconsin, as well as Minnesota. Michigan and Wisconsin, you might remember, are two historically Democratic states. They unexpectedly voted for Donald Trump back in the 2016 election, helping him carve that path to the White House, but underscoring just how crucial these swing states are. Joe Biden as well is going to be heading to them this weekend. Hours earlier, they both had a showdown in that must-win battleground state of Florida. Both of them in the same city at the same time in Tampa, and opinions do show, the opinion polls are showing these two candidates are neck and neck.
So I'm thrilled to be here in our home state, Florida. I love this state and I love the people of this state. And 5 days from now, we are going to win Florida. We are going to win 4 more years in the White House.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heart and soul of this country is at stake. Right here in Florida. It's up to you. You hold the key. If Florida goes blue, it's over.
Now, all of this comes on the back of the fact that the United States has recorded a new record high of daily infections. 91,000 new infections added to the tally for the United States now. And of that number, 46,000 people we know are in hospital battling COVID-19. Well, joining me right now on the line is Ernie Bauer. He is CEO of Bauer Group Asia. Good morning, Ernie. It's a cold, cold morning here in Washington, D.C. We've got these latest growth data numbers from the United States that came out yesterday. They offered the president what can only be described as an opportunity to make a case that he is the better steward for the economy right now in this pandemic. But is America recovering?
I think America is recovering. I think the economy here it will be very resilient. The president has a lot to answer for in terms of record unemployment and the drop in the GDP. So this spike comes at the right time for him, but it may be too little, too late.
Well, on the point of leadership of the economy, there is the leadership of the United States that is at stake. This is how both of these candidates have posited their platforms. I mean, that role of strong leadership is important. What's your assessment of the case that these two candidates have made to the American public in terms of who the better person is to move forward? We are in extraordinary times after all.
We are. And I think Americans are really tired. I mean, I have to say that while our economy is bouncing back from a real drop, a historic drop in GDP, historic levels of unemployment, Americans are looking for a solution, and they're looking for the stronger leader who can lead them into a sustained recovery. And I think I think that ideology has bled into this race quite a bit. I don't think, even compared to 2016, this race is there's not a lot of undecideds. People have decided whether they think that Trump's formula of America first, relative isolation, trade sanctions, high tariffs, whether that's right for them, or Biden's approach, which would be more global engagement, more attention to markets, being more rational about America's place in the world. And so it's a real choice here in 2020. And I think the rest of the world will really know where America's head is after we get the results of the election. That may be on Tuesday or the following days, depending on how the states count late votes.
President Mr. Bauer has made no secret of the fact that he isn't much of a fan of globalization, and you referenced that just now. In his rallies, Joe Biden has often talked about the diminished position of the United States in the eyes of its traditional friends of the outside world. Does that resonate with Americans, though?
I don't think that message would particularly resonate with Americans. I don't think Americans want to hear, and I think most Americans don't understand our position relative to the rest of the world in terms of global economy, national security. And that's a problem. I think that's in part why we ended up where we are right now with a candidate who is running with a very myopic approach to world engagement, and one who would take us back to more traditional American values in terms of global engagement, calmer rhetoric with China, more time spent with allies, more focus on markets, less focus on deficits and trade balances, like we do see with Trump's very ideological approach to trade and investment. I think for most Americans, they've decided either they want to go with Trump or they want to try something new and go with Biden. I think the polls here show pretty clearly that Biden has a big lead. I personally think he's going to win and win big. But we'll see. I mean, we all thought, everyone who watches politics here thought the same thing in 2016. But one thing's for sure, the 2016 and the 2020 elections are quite different. And the conditions for Trump, the path to his victory is narrowing like the arteries of an overweight 74-year-old man.
Well, certainly both of these men would certainly love that path to victory, and both of them, no doubt, would love to have a landslide. Mr. Bauer, thank you very much for that, those insights. Ernie Bauer, the CEO of Bauer Group Asia.